Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. After reflecting on the shenanigans, the atrocities, the missteps, and the accomplishments of African Americans from 2022, I'm entitling this video, "This is why Black women have to keep their eyes on the prize." This is Kim Kardashian, all dressed up in her holiday regalia. She is living her best life this Christmas season. She is the ex-wife of Kanye West, a self-proclaimed rapper, singer, songwriter, record producer, and fashion designer. He's a phenomenon who recently lost $2 or $3 billion endorsement deals from Adidas and Balenciaga. He's lost his agent and the agency that was representing him in Hollywood. He's lost his record company, has been kicked off social media. Furthermore, he's lost his credibility. His career is in shambles, and so is his reputation, all because he refuses to bridle his tongue. He has made inflammatory and offensive remarks towards the Jewish people, refuses to apologize, but double downs on what he said, no matter how offensive, and somehow he has convinced himself that one day they're going to embrace him and make him one of their own. So this is the trajectory of Kanye West. But this is his ex-wife. And why is she so happy? And how is it that she's living her best life when her ex-husband and the father of her children seem to be imploding all over America? What is the secret to her happiness? She's happy because she enjoys the benefit of impeccable timing. She moved in on him when he was at the height of his popularity, his creativity, his appeal, his attractiveness, and his sanity. So she moved in on him at the right time. And she nurtured that relationship with him, as we were able to see in the media, until she procreated and produced 4 children, 4 highly coveted biracial children. During that time, he was able to convince everybody that he was a musical genius and that he was a fashion genius of some sort. And so he was able to build his record business. He was able to get endorsements from these big companies with potential of making money, big money. In fact, the potential was $3 billion is what they said. The projection was that he was worth $3 billion. He really did not have $3 billion liquid that he could put his hands on, but he had the promise of $3 billion if he was able to work through his contracts and produce the way he was expected to do. And he was doing that. He was doing that. She stayed there all that time and saw his empire build and build and build. And then at a point, she realized it was time to cut her losses. And so she started talking about how difficult it was to live with him. She started dropping little hints about how terrible he was and things that he was doing, and had him on tape doing stupid stuff. But now it was time to go. She had exhausted that particular source, and she realized that she had enough equity in that relationship that she didn't have to put up with anything about him that she didn't want to put up with. And it was time for her to go while he was still in possession of the money and the contracts and all of that. So she got divorced from him before the big fallout came with them pulling back on the money and cutting the endorsement deals and things like that. But she got hers from the top. She got hers off the top. And with 4 children, she will continue to get whatever it is that he's got. And not only are those children heirs to his legacy, but through him, they are heirs to the African American legacy. And so that is how your intellectual property gets stolen. I keep talking about intellectual property because in some cases people are not even stealing black people's intellectual property. Black people are giving it away, as in the case here. So she's happy, and she's having a wonderful Christmas season. Even as you know, there might be a question of where is Kanye? Where is Kanye? But she seems to be none the worse for wear. She seems to be doing beautifully. And here she is with her ass turned up to the camera, no doubt trying to see who she can trap into that cave to make a run for another fortune. So this is the downfall of the black American man. And just to reinforce the fact that she is not sweating Kanye West, here are some of her holiday photos. So as we can see, the former Mrs. Kanye West is living the high life in the city of angels. But believe it or not, this video is not even about her. This video is about black women. This is why black women have to keep their eyes on the prize. For a black man who is capable of generating the wealth of, say, $2-3 billion, and his prize to be a Kim Kardashian is a sign of a man in a race not having any true vision, at least no vision for his race. And there are many just like Kanye West. So if the black man who has this kind of creativity and this kind of gift is satisfied with this kind of woman, that means there's no vision in our race from the men who you could say are the most gifted. So where there is no vision, the people perish. So somebody got to have vision if African Americans are going to flourish. We don't want to perish. And black women, fortunately for us, have really been holding up the banner for the black race. Black women are taking leadership roles in every aspect of American life, including the fields of government, education, health, the STEM programs, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, the economy, and the military, and every other aspect of American life. Black women are taking the lead so that we do not perish. I just happened to come across this particular article about the accomplishments that 6 outstanding black women had made in 2022, and this is very encouraging to me. So without further ado, I will present them to you. This is Brandy Medina. She has just earned a doctorate's degree from St. Edward's University in educational leadership and higher education. She is a single mom of 4 who came from being homeless to getting involved in an online program of higher education and earning this distinction. So that means that you don't have to be a genius or you don't have to have a whole lot of support. You can just have the will to do better for yourself. And online education is something that a lot of African American women are taking advantage of. And it is helping to improve their lives. So I say congratulations to Brandy Medina. This is Jada Davis. And she was crowned Miss Milwaukee 2022, making her the first black woman to hold the title of Miss Milwaukee. She is 23 years old and she attends Marquette University Law School and is working toward her Juris Doctorate. Now this is interesting because this is a beautiful African American woman with Afrocentric features and Afrocentric hair. This is an exotic, beautiful young black woman who has taken charge of her own beauty. Now, the beauty itself is not important. What is, she's mixing brains and beauty. In the climate that we live in, with the European standard of beauty being considered the standard of beauty, it is important for African American women to affirm their own beauty and to believe in their own beauty. So I do believe that that is important. But it's also important that she is educated and she does community work. She works with the Boys and Girls Club. She's a dance instructor and she volunteers for many organizations. So all of this is very important for African American women. This is how we build our culture and make our culture and communities stronger. This is Lisa Cook, and she serves on the United States Federal Reserve's Board of Governors, and this is what you call a powerful position. She is the first African American woman to serve in this position. She has been a professor of economics at Michigan State University, and she served as a staff economist on the White House Council of Economic Advisors, and she was also an advisor to the Biden-Harris transition team on the federal and bank regulatory policy. So this woman is in a very powerful position. This is Dr. Karsha Carson, an alumna of Jackson State University. Shout out to Deion Sanders. She became the first black woman to receive her PhD degree in biomedical engineering from Vanderbilt University in 2022. She earned her BS degree in physics in 2014 from Jackson State University before heading to Fisk for its Fisk Vanderbilt Master's to PhD Bridge program, where she obtained her master's degree in physics, and now she has a biomedical engineering degree from Vanderbilt University. So congratulations to Dr. Carson. This is Tatiana Julian. She is a New Orleans native, and she made history after she became the Louisiana Army National Guard's first black female pilot. She said that a black New Orleans pilot who was in her unit during a deployment to the Middle East inspired her to become a pilot. She said she noticed the officer, Chief Warrant Officer Troy Willis, was the only black person serving as a warrant officer pilot in her unit. She said that seeing her fellow New Orleans in the cockpit inspired her to also become a pilot. So this is a black woman who was inspired by a black man. And so shout out to Chief Warrant Officer Troy Willis. Last but not least is U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. She was sworn in as the 116th Supreme Court Justice and the first black woman to serve on the country's top court. She took the oath of office on June 30th, replacing retiring Justice Stephen Breyer after the court released its final ruling for this term. These are some of the accomplishments of African American women for 2022. This gives me hope that we're going to be okay. Even though the prize for many black men may be women of another race, I keep hearing these so-called passport brothers say they're winning just because they're going to other countries and making some kind of connection to other races of women. But this cannot be the prize for black women, because our race has to be stronger and better than that. Going and dating and sleeping with another race of people is really not an accomplishment, and it's not going to move us forward as a race. You have to get in the fight. People say, well, it's not going to do any good. You do more good inside the game than outside. So we have to stay in the fight, and we stay in the fight by competing with other people, because other people are competing for the prize, and that prize is called power. Power is here in the United States, staying in the fight. And even if we don't get all that we want. If we stay in the fight, we'll get something. So I'm very proud of Black women, and we have to keep our eyes on the real prize, and the real prize is power. So let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.